What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Narik channel. I'm your boy Narik, and in this video we're going to be reviewing Resident Evil Apocalypse. Resident Evil Apocalypse is the second installment in the Resident Evil film series. The story essentially follows Alice, who's trying to escape Raccoon City after the T-Virus has just ravaged it, unleashing all types of holy hell and turning its citizens into zombies. Now, there is a question as to whether the film series actually warranted a sequel, and based off what was going on and shown at the end of the first film, I didn't mind a sequel, and honestly, I do find that this movie to be very entertaining, but that's not to say that it doesn't have its own flaws. Now, the story is pretty straightforward. Yes, Alice is in the city now that's filled with zombies, and she's trying to escape. There are other survivors, and they all band together and try to make the best of this situation while being pursued by the badass Nemesis. And for those of you who don't know who Nemesis is like one of the most iconic faces of Resident Evil. This movie is basically Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 put together. No, Claire and Leon do not make an appearance in this film, but we do have Jill Valentine, and I will say that she was well cast and pretty badass. Alice is now somewhat of a super soldier because her DNA has bonded with the T-Virus through experiments, and to some degree I can kind of flow with that in this, but where it kind of leads to is a little bit, wish they could have worked on a little bit better. The story is entertaining. There are a lot of action sequences. There are some funny sequences. There are some really dark and badass sequences. There are some pretty suspenseful ones too. Of course, the movie revolves around Alice, even though there are other characters. And in this film, if you thought she was badass in the first one, they definitely kicked it up a notch in this one. Yes, she's this new mutated super soldier, I guess. So she can go around kicking ass and jumping dozen feet in the air, and she can heal. You know, she can do all of this since zombies and tyrants and stuff. She just all badass at this point. And she just keep getting just more badass throughout the rest of the movie. I liked Jill Valentine. I thought she was pretty badass. I will admit that Alice's character and role does seem to eclipse everybody else's, even though they do kind of get about the same amount of screen time. Alice does a hell of a lot more badass stuff, which I wish Jill Valentine would have had a little bit more to do. There is this one sequence where they're fighting lickers, and it takes Alice to basically save them. And I'm like, that could have been a really good moment for Jill Valentine's character to, you know, develop, to do something badass, to be a little bit more memorable. But I will say, when they cast Sienna Guillory as Jill Valentine, they did a effing awesome job. Not only does she look like the character, she feels like the character. Mike Epps is in the film. I don't like Mike Epps, but the dude was hilarious in this one. I had to give him a pass. Milla Jovovich, awesome actress, great with action. She does a fantastic job. So I think the cast did a pretty good job. Visually, the movie does look good. There are some moments where things could be a little bit better. The zombie makeup designs look pretty cool. The way the city looks, it's desolate. There's destruction, decay, loose paper flying everywhere, messed up cars. I just love the atmosphere of the movie. The action sequences are well shot. They're really fast paced. There are these really weird, like blurry moments. Wish they didn't do that. They had the lickers return in the movie, and this time around, they actually look pretty good. Yes, it's got gore. Yes, it's got a lot of violence. Yes, people get shot, people get eaten. As far as the Nemesis character itself, I'm kind of on the fence about, because for the practical side of it, it does look pretty good, looks pretty impressive, but at the same time, it looks stiff. It looks fake. Put a little bit of motion capture in with it to make it look a little bit more badass and a little bit more intense. Score and music are just handled great. There are moments where it's pretty dark. There's moments where it gets techno and fast paced, and it just makes for a very entertaining experience. Now, the writing does suffer a lot. There are some conveniences that could have been worked out a little bit better. There are also some moments where it feels like the writing just completely focuses on Alice, and it's like, what are the point of these characters being here if she's the one that's going to save them all the time? And I wish they could have worked that out a little bit better. Ending climax, I wish could have been done a little bit better. Yes, I can understand where they were going with anticlimactic, and this is Nemesis we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Nemesis is a cold-blooded, no mercy having, just evil son of a. Despite all the stuff that was happening, like, you didn't see any of the Resident Evil BOWs and stuff that you expected to see. In the end, I will say Resident Evil Apocalypse is a pretty good film and just a good time waster. It is enjoyable, has some pretty memorable moments. Yes, the story really isn't original. The convenience written story, most of the characters do feel useless. Having said that, yes, we get good performances. Actually pretty interesting and likable characters. The action is pretty good, except for the Nemesis, which could have been worked out a little bit better. And the soundtrack, of course, was just completely badass. Resident Evil Apocalypse deserves 3 out of 5. If you like the first film, you'll like this film too. So guys, in the comment section below, let me know, what are your thoughts on this review and what are your thoughts on Resident Evil Apocalypse? Be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what's going on here on the Narik Chase channel. Until next video, catch you guys later.